Now, a quick chat on varieties of food. Now, lots of people like to feed varieties of food to their fish, and there's nothing wrong with feeding varieties of food to your fish because you like to feed varieties of food to your fish. But in reality, it is because you like it. Now, if you feed a very high quality food, such as New Life Spectrum or Danichi, there is so many ingredients inside that food that food is literally a variety of foods. So for example, if you fed krill one day, some spirulina the next day, a bit of Atlantic salmon the next day, a bit of prawn the next day, a bit of brine shrimp the day after that, or whatever, then you would be saying that's a good variety of foods. But within a food like New Life Spectrum or Danichi is a whole host of ingredients. So therefore, whether you fed those variety of ingredients one day after the next day, or you mixed them all up, turned them into a pellet and fed them the same day, is irrelevant. Now, the amount of research that's gone into particularly foods like New Life Spectrum, where Pablo has spent years testing what goes in a fish, testing what comes out of a fish to work out what the absorption rate is of all the different nutrients and so forth within the fish. So therefore, in those foods, he's making sure that your fish are getting exactly what they need. So therefore, if your fish are getting exactly what they need and not extra of anything they don't need, that means the food is much cleaner. So let's say that you feed lots of bloodworms, you're going to get lots of protein, it's going to lack most vitamins. So therefore your fish are going to eat the bloodworms till they've got their fill of protein and the rest just comes out as crap. On the other hand, you might feed lots of nori, might have lots of vitamins, maybe it lacks protein. So then the fish get their fill of vitamins and then the rest comes out as crap. So if it is set at absorption rate through scientific research, then you'll find that the food is typically a lot cleaner. The other thing Pablo finds too is that the actual absorption rate of one fish versus another is basically exactly the same. So he will find that he will feed something like a lionfish when you get them trained onto a food like Spectrum, and the protein versus vitamins versus so forth that's actually absorbed is exactly the same as something like a tang. So people will say, oh, but that's impossible. It's completely possible because a tang has evolved to eat massive amounts of algae to be able to extract protein, whereas something like a lionfish is able to process massive amounts of protein in order to extract any vitamin. So what they actually want to use is completely irrelevant compared to what they actually eat, because what they eat is what they've evolved to eat in the environment that they have evolved. So when you give them tailor-made food, it's actually surprising that you can feed exactly the same food to a goldfish that you feed to a lionfish, that you feed to an Oscar, that you feed to a discus, and get exactly the same results with all fish. And I've tested this over and over and over again, and always amazed how true that is. Anyway, if you've got any comments on this particular subject, then make sure you put a little note on the bottom of this video.